It looks like that will be her first opponent. She called her out. She's like, I heard that you wanted to wrestle me, so let's make it happen. Mercedes has
OMG.
she has responded, but has not been made official yet. The thinking is that the match will happen on April the 8th, which I believe is the New Japan's Sakura Genesis.
Sakura Genesis,
Sakura
Genesis
Genesis.
show.
Yes. So I believe that is the show that it is rumored to be happening at.
Oh wow,
And
that's like a
then
real show. That's like
yeah,
part of the season.
yeah. And so it sounds like that will be happening there. So like I said, it's not been made official yet. And then
Huh.
her rumored second opponent is Mayu Iwatani.
Ooh.
On I believe that is April the 23rd is the date that I saw for that. She has not been announced for the April shows here, which is the 15th and the 16th of April in Philly and Washington, D.C.
Washington D.C.
So I don't know that she'll be at those shows or if she'll already be back in Japan prepping for. Well, no, because then that would happen between those shows would be between because of April 8th. If that show's April the 8th, then she'd have to come back here, do 15th and 16th, and then fly back for the 23rd. So I don't know that they're going to do that for her.
Wow.
That might be a lot for her, especially because she hasn't wrestled in 9 months. And she just had her first match. It's 4 matches in 4 weeks is, would be a lot. So I don't know.
Or maybe she's into it and just wants to go.
Yeah.
I mean,
be.
people do talk about the fact that she wants to do this is what she's wanted to do. I mean, if you believe the people that say that that wanted to do this and that she's watched these other wrestlers,
well, she has said herself
she wants to elevate her game and to go out there and wrestle other people in other places to make her case for being one of the best wrestlers in the conversation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no reason to believe that wouldn't happen. Those things won't happen. Like,
right. She said, I was reading, she did an interview with TV Insider and she said she's a free agent. Yeah. She can wrestle wherever she wants.
Mm-hmm.
She can wrestle in Germany. She can wrestle in Mexico. She can have all the dream matches that she wants to have, all the matches she's never gotten to have because she was tied to one company. She can have all these things. So and so there was actually an article that I wrote yesterday was talking about like, is she AEW bound? And they said that if she wants to do Forbidden Door 2, then she can.
That seems to make the most sense to me.
And we'll get to why in a second.
Right.
Part of another reason why, something that was teased this week. But she is a little hesitant. It sounds like she doesn't want to do a long-term deal. She just got out of a long-term deal and went through a lot to get out of that deal. So I don't see her wanting to tether herself to another company for a long-term commitment. And so
she just got herself a new agent, a new agency, a whole situation. Yeah. So, I mean, she's clearly like she's doing her like housekeeping and getting her ducks in a row, it appears.
She's doing her thing. And we've talked about, she has the CBD company. I believe she's got a makeup line coming out at some point that she mentioned on like a live that she did. She filmed a movie in Boston a couple of months ago. So Sasha Mercedes has a lot going on. And not that
she's in Mandalorian or whatever. So.
Yeah. And not to say that wrestling's on the back burner because it's clearly not, but like she has all of these things where I don't think signing a long-term deal is in her future right this minute. Like maybe a year or 2 years from now, maybe she wants to, like, once she's wrestled what she's wrestled, maybe she will decide that she wants to and then I think
maybe she'll live out her dreams and like that'll be the end of her wrestling career.
I mean, it could be and maybe she's also
Hollywood.
You never know when an injury is going to happen, and so she's trying to do these things. Like she wants to do all these dream matches, and good for her. Like,
can I throw out a random, like, I love her freaking hair and I love her look and I love everything that she's come out in, and I love it. I think I love her look. I think it's so much fun. It's so crazy. I'm like, when she came out that first time with that, I was like, I don't hate that. I love it. I was like, oh, she looks amazing. Yeah. She's got this like, I love it. I love it.
I love everything that she's doing. And then
even the picture we have on our card here on the show is that
her hair. She just
man,
always
she's so much fun. I'm just really enjoying her presentation. She's
right, and it reminds me kind of Jade. Like Jade always has like different hair, and she would have like, especially at the pay-per-views, like she would have the different outfits. Like what is Jade going to wear at the pay-per-view? And now it's kind of the same thing with Mercedes. Like how is she going to present herself this time? And I think that's really cool. And then so we do have a comment saying she don't know why you'd want to work for a company that treats women's wrestling worse than the one that she walked out on. AEW has a lot of women's wrestling problems, which if you've watched the show at all, that is something we talk about. I don't know that I would say it's worse than WWE, because WWE is not, from what I'm seeing on the main roster from the little bit I've been watching, they're not doing that great themselves. But you do make a very valid argument. That right now, the way AEW is presenting the women,
there's nothing there's nothing overly attractive for her to come over there.
Well, especially because the story has
it is a good point. It is a fair point. It
is a fair point. Yeah, I don't know that.
If the women's division was flying like it was when Britt first had that whole thing, when the Britt story was. Maybe then, but
yeah, I was gonna say it seemed like we had talked about it a few months ago, or at the end of the year, early into this year, it seemed like they finally got
they started
over that hump, and then they went right back to doing some of the same shit they've been doing, and like the storyline.
They have a bad habit. Tony has a bad habit of killing his own moment, stepping on his own robe or something. However, it's
for every step forward they make in the women's division, they take 2 steps back.
It's like it's the Wardlow thing. It's like Wardlow syndrome. It's like he's so super hot, we're not going to do anything with him.
Yeah, and they do that with the women, which again, the argument for bringing in Maria, having her do it, maybe she'll be on the ROH side of things. It'll be interesting, but then I am concerned.
So much going on at
AEW. We've had the conversation before. If they can't figure out what to do in AEW, how the hell are they going to book the Ring of Honor women's division? I mean, hopefully he kind of gives that over to Maria, and Maria can, but I don't know how much free reign he's going to give her.
Well, they have a lot of people on their roster. I mean, it really is to kind of underscore that is she's a big star on it. She moved tickets for San Jose, whether you like it or not. She's a big star. Everybody wants her. Everybody wants to know where she's going.
Right.
Why would you give that up right now? You're the hottest thing in the world. Talking.
Right. And she can command.
She can do whatever she wants. I mean, run with it.
Right. Yeah. And good
right
for
now,
her.
just I would ride the wave.
I hope that exactly. I hope she gets to do all her dream matches. I hope the Mickie James match happens. It seems like, so we'll go back to what we were going to mention it seems like Omega is hinting at something with her.
Tangent.
Powerbombshell
tangent.
if you missed the tweet, Omega, because she had the clip from her not when she met him, because they have met before, but when they saw each other again at Wrestle Kingdom, and he quote tweeted it and was like, I hear New Japan, you have mixed matches. And so it seems like if it doesn't happen in New Japan, then Forbidden Door seems like obviously the most obvious answer. Yes, we know how Tony feels about, he doesn't allow intergender wrestling, but he does do the mixed matches. He has done them before. New Japan can do the same thing. We saw that with the crossover show. And they did some really good stuff there. We talked about it was Zack Sabre Jr., Julia, Tom Lawler, and
Suri.
Yes, thank you. That match was one of our favorite matches on the card.
That was a great match. That was so much fun.
So, and Mercedes also kind of hinted at a tag team with Okada last Saturday, because she
was really cool. I did actually see that. I didn't watch the show. I'm waiting for it to be on the network because I watched other things.
Sure.
But I did see those things, and I did see the clip of her coming out and the whole thing. And I mean, I had it described obviously, and I went and checked it out, and I was like, that's pretty fun.
Yeah. And just his face.
I mean,
when he heard her music, like
he's
is
like,
coming
who
out?
the crap is this?
Yeah, and then it's Mercedes, and they've got the money, and just and she's trying to get him to dance, and he wouldn't really do it, and so I was like, so she could potentially have a match where she teams with Okada, and she could potentially have a match where she tags with Omega. We got Omega Okada at New Year Dash as a tag team,
man.
so maybe Mercedes just. Maybe she just
tags. You just made me realize how close we are to actually having another Omega, like the potential for an Omega Okada reunion. Fucking
Mercedes is going to be the catalyst.
Yeah,
what
Jay,
if we do a trios?
Sorry, Jay, you're not the catalyst anymore.
Sorry, Mercedes.
It's been taken over.
Because she is going to single-handedly sell out wherever Forbidden Door 2 is.
It's the Moné era.
It is
now.
It is the Moné era now. But then maybe they'll do a trios. And
there's our title:
Okada, Omega, Mercedes. Like, can you or Moné? Can you see that being a trios?
That's a lot of. That's making it rain on so many. It's pretty funny that the Boss and the Rainmaker are, because she did, her bank statements.
Yes.
Oh my God! It like writes itself.
The Moné clip. That somebody called it the Moné clip.
Moné clip. Oh, I love it.
So perfect. We just got to figure out how to get Kenny into this.